this one day in particular, I was doing a book drop, and somebody had whipped a sack of half-eaten Mickey D's cheeseburgers down the book drop chute, and I found those, and I was in heaven. I mean, they had at least been there all day, no telling who was eating them, and I was joyous. I ate the cheeseburgers, I ate these rancid stale fries, and that was my meal for a couple days, and then it kind of hit me like, this is fucking pathetic.
Persuading my mother to go with me in my car to the teller machine, get money out of the bank, out of her account, to buy me heroin, taking her with me in the car to go and purchase the drug to cop from my dealer, and then parking in a public parking lot, opening the trunk of my car, fixing up the drug, and shooting it in my arm when I was standing at the back of my car while my mother was sitting in the passenger seat of the automobile.
Finally, I got this stuff, and there's no bathrooms because it's in a really bad neighborhood, and they all know what's up, so they don't want to let you in their bathrooms. So, crawling into this girl's car with a crying baby and using her infant's water and the baby bottle to shoot up, stuff like that. Or,
digging in dumpsters was pretty shitty. Selling plasma always sucked. I always thought, why am I doing this when I was selling plasma? Because I was in there with all the people who were just like me, and I hated to look around and see myself in the faces of all these people.
I see a rector and I want it painted black. No colors anymore, I want them to turn black.
Based correction facility. You may arrest somebody and put them in jail just to keep them safe for a while. Sometimes that's the best treatment you can get. And sometimes for the drug addict, it's a relief for them to get a break from the streets and hustling.
It's like the worst flu you've ever felt in your life. It's sweat from every pore of your body. Things you didn't even know you could sweat out of. Your skin just feels like anything you brush up against it feels like burlap or sandpaper or steel wool. And my hair stinks, like my nose stinks. Everything has this bitter, just toxic smell to it. Your sweat, snot, just constant snot coming out. You throw up, you cramp up.
Yeah, man. I mean, I can easily say that physically, that was the single most painful thing I have ever endured. Anybody that's read any kind of junkie literature, Jim Carroll, Burroughs, any kind of musician's biography, Keith Richards, Miles Davis, I mean, anything like that, everything that they put in print times 1,000 is what it feels like in real life.
Because I knew they had drugs that would make me sleep, because when you don't sleep for 3 weeks, you want to kill yourself.
That's what it all boils down to.
It's like, if I could just sleep through the withdrawal, then it wouldn't be so bad, but you can't sleep. You're just like, ah.
If I don't have it every cup, I can go 2 days without it, but then like on the third day, I do get the sniffles and start feeling, I don't get any like physical ailments like sore or anything like that, but just real lethargic, not wanting to do anything.
Worst pain you've ever felt.
Okay.
It's hell. I feel like I've been to hell.
Many people told me that with heroin addiction, there's usually one of 3 things happens, and that you either die, you remain an addict the rest of your life and lead a life of addiction, or you get healthy. And that he really believed that I needed to prepare myself mentally for his death, because there was a very good chance that he would not survive. And there were times when his father and I would talk on the phone and believe that the next time we talked we would be planning a funeral. And that's probably the most difficult thing that a parent can ever talk about.
It's like I snorted it for so long, and then it just didn't give me the same rush. And then I knew if I shot it, it would be a whole different experience. You know, it'd start all over again.
It's just like, dude.
I'm ready to go for my jugular tonight. Loads of depression, deep down anguish, not just in my head. Twisted up inside, all the emotions and anger built up from wishing away a serious amount of pain.
Do you remember the days of slavery? 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 And the peoples
Banish this from my body and make me well again.
And then it just didn't end up working out, you know, and we had to get divorced because it's not, I'm an addict, you know, I can't, there's no such thing as recreational use for me.
I didn't want to live anymore, but I really didn't want to die. I thought sooner or later the heroin was going to kill me, but I decided it was too difficult to live that way. It was my way of tricking fate. You know, when I see other people using drugs, I'll never condemn it. That's their own choice. I mean, drugs have a place in this world. I don't think I really have a place in drugs.
When a child is young, you build a foundation. It's much the same as a foundation of a house, and that in the worst of storms, the house may blow down, but the foundation will always remain. Perhaps the foundation was strong enough to allow him to rebuild his life at some point in time, and that was the hope that we always had, was that he would be able to rebuild his life at some point in time.
Right. Okay.
I'm done for now.
I'm thinking about if I want some dope or not, and I'm thinking that I don't, and that I wouldn't ever tell people how great it feels, but I just did earlier.
It's not what you think. Whatever you think about heroin, unless you've done it, it's not what you think. The lifestyle, I mean, you could see it on the news, you could read about it. You know, I did. You know, I read about it and I saw it on the news, and it was interesting, but until I got into it, there's nothing like you could imagine. How much it hurts, how good it feels. I wouldn't recommend heroin. It's too good. You know, you should destroy yourself and other drugs.
Best way I can sum it all up is the beat goes on. The beat goes on. Like Osceola was a sinning old in a time when men were bought and sold.
Just life, you know. It's just life.
Sail into the ocean, wash away, and all the masters were fighting their slaves. Saw spirits die, first Seminole War. What were those engines fighting for?
Man, love is a hell of a lot of work. And it never dies.
Call it bad out, some say help themselves, yo, if you got sick. Every hungry people, that's $1 and change. Every 100 people, that's $dollars and change. This ain't living. This ain't living. This ain't